Right now, we are tracking this caravan. 1,500 migrants are on foot heading for the U.S.-Mexico border. The migrants, mainly from Central and South America, say they want to reach the U.S. before Trump's inauguration in January. News Nation border correspondent Jorge Ventura live for us in San Antonio tonight. Jorge, what are you learning about who these individuals are and the obstacles that they're facing on this journey?
Yeah, Natasha, we're learning that around 1,500 migrants are now taking off from Tapachula, Mexico, that's in the southern border of Mexico, and are headed now to the U.S. border. Migrants say they are anticipating stricter immigration policies under a incoming Trump administration and say they are desperate to cross now. Now, my Mexican sources tell me that it is likely that this migrant caravan will be broken up into smaller groups by Mexican officials before they even reach central Mexico, and that these groups could still make it to the U.S. and actually will be traveling through cartel controlled routes, which is extremely dangerous. Now, other migrants say they'll try to enter legally by trying to get an appointment on the CBP One app, also before those stricter immigration policies take effect.
The president of Mexico could help us with buses. With buses because there are many children in various conditions, sick people, elderly. So we want to be heard. We don't want to stay here, but we want to enter before Donald Trump takes office again.
They are very much matter of fact in their stance on, listen, we are entitled and y'all need to help us get over to the United States of America. We're going to hold Claudia Sheinbaum, who's the recently elected female president of Mexico. And they are basically taking advantage of a system, and then they leverage your tears and your emotions to justify being here. They'll then come over here and then they'll establish residency, they'll establish rights, they'll start voting, they'll create a legacy by having children here, and all through illegal migration into this country as a result of the incompetence of the current administration, which is, as of recording of this video, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And so now you know, and you can go back and look at all of the footage and all of the receipts, and the internet is forever. You can go back and look at the fact that they lied to you. The entire election season, all from 2021, they lied to you. They lied to you. They're using an app, they're using a parole program. They're coming over, they're flying into Mexico from other countries and then flying over to the United States of America through the parole program, in addition to flooding the US borders and then also leveraging the CBP One app. I guess that's what it's called, or the CBP app, to enter into the United States of America under the guise of asylum. When in reality, Trump was absolutely telling you the truth when he was saying that they were letting their prisons loose and they were opening up their doors to get rid of their crime, and their crime is exponentially going down in Venezuela, Guatemala, Haiti, Cuba. All of these places are based and all across the world. They're basically flooding the United States of America with people that they don't want into the United States. Now, here's the caveat to it. They got backbone, and they know that they're going to use your tax dollar to do so. And so we got to get back to having strong borders. And strong borders don't mean that you don't let anybody in here. But if they know that the inmates is running the asylum, as far as this administration and these legislators, if they know that the inmates is running the asylum, then what makes you think that they won't take advantage of the system? Now, I don't necessarily blame them, because they taking advantage of the system. If Biden and Harris said, hey, listen, we didn't already let 21, 22, 23, 24 million people over here unofficially and officially, and we'll send them over to Springfield, we'll send them over to Denver, all of these sanctuary cities, the ones that all voted blue, and a lot of them didn't even need ID to vote. You know, they'll send them to Chicago. Shout out to Chicago Red out there. They said they're doing the work and they really trying to run it up and take care of business. All of these places are basically saying, hey, listen, we gonna take advantage of the citizens, and we're going to let people come in here that has never paid a dime into the system. We gonna justify it by saying that, well, we want to emotionally connect and we don't want to deport these people, and they can do cheap labor. So basically, they can do slave labor for a third of the cost. And y'all think that that's American? Okay.
What we want is to reach the border and let God's will be done for us to be received. We want to be on the other side before the new president of the United States takes office, as he seems quite harsh on immigrants.
Now, President-elect Trump has pledged to end that asylum system, the CBP-1 app, which has allowed some migrants to enter legally through a port of entry.
Trump can't get in office fast enough. Trump can't get in office fast enough.
We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally.
With just 58 days until his inauguration, Trump's day one agenda includes deploying military assets to speed up deportations and building facilities along the southern border. In anticipation of these changes, Texas officials are already taking action. The Texas General Land Office has offered the incoming Trump administration 1,400 acres in Starr County, a region that has seen high levels of migrant crossings to support those deportation efforts. State leaders believe this land could be played a critical role in creating facilities for processing and detention as a part of a broader efforts to enhance that border security and coordinate what could be the largest removal of migrants in U.S. history. And also here in Texas, where I am, Natasha, you do have Texas state officials deploying what they call mass migration teams. So you will see more of a heavy presence by Texas state troopers. They are seeing an uptick, though, of unaccompanied minors making it across the border here, Natasha.
An important detail. Jorge Bent.
And that's amazing, because then they'll say, oh, no, it's about the children. No, it's about listen, before they ever get here, they had to take a plane ride over to the place that they're going to travel through in order to cross into the United States of America. Go through these cartels who are basically being funded by U.S. taxpayer dollars. They're incentivized by our weak borders, and it almost seems like, man, is the United States of America actually working with the cartel? Are they working with a lot of these black market people that are basically shepherding them straight into the United States of America and funding human trafficking? Because from what I've heard from multiple different people that speak on what the journey is like, it's some grisly details of the things that's happening as these people are crossing over to the border. But guess what? They are promised life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, even though you're not doing it legally. And then people will say, oh man, you cross over into the United States of America legally. Trump has 57, 58 days before he takes office. He cannot take office fast enough. The Democrats are basically burning this entire country to the ground. And I've never seen it happen this fast. I've never seen them uphold the military industrial complex. I've never seen our borders open in my short 42 years on this earth. I've never seen something like this happen in my entire life. Not in the 80s, not in the 90s, not in the 2000s, not 2010s. It's insane, the expedited process that they have to ruin this country, to throw it under the bus. And I think that they doing it for two reasons. Number one, they trying to fund their friends and their families and all of this stuff, as far as, the big donors. People don't know that people get rich off the Democratic Party. So that's one. And then number two, I think that they're actually trying to spite Trump, which then flies in the face of a peaceful transition. And so I don't understand how y'all continue to support this. And it's funny because the most ignorant amongst us are the ones that are the biggest supporters of the Democratic Party. And all they got to promise you is the possibility of legalization of weed on a federal level, and the opportunity for y'all to continue to abandon y'all babies in the name of contraception, as far as getting rid of unwanted babies. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Also, T. Genley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. And get your tickets to come and kick it with me December 14th in Detroit. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Shit.